Good catch, buddy. Hey, my friends, how are you? It's your pal Dave from Playa Hermosa once again for a weekly update. It's actually a day early. It's Saturday the 27th. The guys just headed out of here after a half day's work, which is typical for Saturday. I'm always impressed that they do 6 days a week and they work their butts off too. Pretty good week. I'm doing this a little bit early because I am headed back to Colorado tomorrow for a week. Little mixed emotions about it. Really excited to go home and see my mom and Butch, her husband, and maybe some family if they're available. Unfortunately, my dad and bonus mom Barb, they won't be around. They're in Japan, of all cool places. I think they actually leave tomorrow, so I'll just miss them on my way, or maybe they're leaving today. I can't remember. But anyway, I have to blast off out of here at 3 a.m. tomorrow because there's an area where they're doing some work on a bridge, and it's had some notorious delays. And I missed a flight once before, underestimating the Costa Rican traffic. So even though it's generally only about an hour and a half to the airport, I'm leaving myself like 5 hours. And then I'm going to park at my buddy David's place, who also unfortunately is out of town, so I won't get to see him. He actually won't even be back by the time I get back. He's in Peru. Everybody's going to fun places. But I'll leave my car at his place and then just take an Uber to the airport. It's only like 10 minutes. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and show you what's been going on this last week. So let's swing around. There we go. Okay. What a gorgeous day. It's pretty windy today. And in typical fashion, the clouds are starting to roll down the hill. There's my supervisors checking up on me, make sure I'm doing a good job. Hey, babe. Hey, sweetheart. How are you, honey? Oh, you guys are such good helpers. Yeah. We had 3 birthdays this week. It was Eduardo's birthday today, and then it was Marlon's birthday a couple days ago. My birthday was about a month ago. And then one of the other guys, Omar, he had a birthday too. So let's see, they've got this blocked off for the dogs, but I think this one's done. All right, yeah, let's go take a peek up this middle one. Here, actually, before we do that, come over here. Let's take a look at the pools. Look at this. Look at those pools. Looking pretty nice. Looking pretty close to being done. That's just a piece of wrapper or something down there, but that's all done underneath there. So what Ricardo was saying was this next week they'll fill them up with water and make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to do. And then I believe they go through the process of putting in the pumps and all of that, which we have in storage. So one step at a time. Oh, and then I think they're going to, we talked about doing a privacy fence along here, so we would have one stretch that goes just right between here and then privacy fence over to there. And then once it gets to the top here, just on this portion in front of the pool right here, we'll have it kind of angle in to the side of the house so that when you're going up this flight of stairs, as I can show you, you won't be able to just look right down into your neighbor's pool. And we'll do some sort of privacy fence for each one of them. They're all a little bit different. Look at how much they got this all cleaned out here. Getting the electrical in. I know you can't see them, but they've got the boxes in there, and they put up some conduits, stuff like that. Most of this week has been tile work. Hi, buddy. Oh, it was the other one that's done more. This one's only got the this little bit done here so far. Let's go look at the other one. It's much further along. Oh wait, let's look at the bathroom. Okay, so they started in here, started to get this stuff squared away. I'll show you the other one. I kind of wanted it to be over just a little bit further over this way. My thought was that I wanted to create a spot where somebody could sit right here. Let's zoom out. Always easier to see. Have somebody sitting right here and then a little mirror right there. But it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, I'm not trying to make these difficult. Sorry for all the noise. I hope it's not too terrible. All that plastic flapping around. But they wanted to keep the pools dry for the time being. So let's sneak up the other one. We're still working on getting the electricity squared away with the electric company. Eduardo is petitioning them to allow us to make an exception. What are you doing out here, you guys? You know I don't want you out here. They would actually end up putting, let's just take a quick walk up there so you can see what I'm talking about. So the pole here, the one right that I'm walking towards, that's actually on my neighbor's property, on this guy's property here. Gave me permission and then took the permission away. Said, I don't like it. That's gonna block our view. That's going to affect my property value. And in fact, the main view for them is in that direction. Here's the thing though. The electric company, someone's coming. The electric company has the ability to put poles where they want to. And so they're actually talking about making an exception, even though the distance is a little too long, and putting an ICE, that's the electrical company, pole right here. Come here, dude. Get out of the way, buddy. For such a smart dog, you're being kind of dumb. Hola, amigo. Good boy. Hola, señor. ¿Cómo estás? Excelente. So, always so many nice people here. I love it. No matter where you go, everybody's got a smile and a kind word. I love it. Not so much that way back home. It's more of a scowl and an FU, right? Gotta love the good old US of A. Okay, sorry. They're going to put, it sounds like the electric company is going to put one of their poles right here because they can get away with it. And then we'll string an electric line from the existing pole, which is right back there, the existing electric company pole, and then it'll string along. Again, this will be gone. We'll take this down, and then the electric company is going to put a pole right here, and then we'll go across in the air over to this one. So, my neighbor's kind of shooting himself in the foot. It would be far better to just leave that pole right there as far as view goes, because it's really not blocking any view right now. But once we put it over here, I think it's going to be blocking their view a whole lot more. But apparently he doesn't like me. I've always tried to be super nice and cordial. I mean, he's never even here. But I think his issue is just the fact that my projects have taken a while. It's like, I'm sorry, buddy. Not everybody has $500,000 to throw at a house project and get it done. And not everybody has their builder die while they're in the midst of a project. So sometimes things go a little bit slower. Sometimes you get hosed by people financially and you have to improvise and make things work. Come on, guys, let's go. Dude, that's for you, buddy. Good catch. Okay. Got to get that downspout fixed. And in fact, the guy's coming to do gutters. And then we're also going to do, or we've been talking about doing some bamboo underneath the awnings right there, just underneath the black overhang as this kind of accent. I'm still contemplating whether I want to do that now or later. Ricardo's got a great connection with a guy who can do all that stuff. But I just want to make sure we get all of the other things done. The last piece in all of this that's probably the most expensive is getting the windows put in. Now, actually, we got a great quote from a window guy, much less expensive than it costs to do the windows on mine. I mean, he's saving us like $1,500, and it's including doors right here. Oh, look, so we got these little balconies done. They're done on both of them, just need to get painted. So doors there, all the same windows on the middle one as I have on this one, but the furthest one, that's the one that has the corner bathroom and the other big picture window, you know, looking out that way. Here you go, buddy. So even with those additional windows, it's still less expensive than what the other guy was. And I mean, his windows were fine. I don't know windows that well, but they do rattle a little bit. And there are a few areas where we probably could have done some silicone to, whoops, got an itch there, baby, huh? You got to do what you got to do. There's some areas where there's some gaps and things. We don't worry too much about that because it's Costa Rica, and you know, we're not so worried about losing heat or cold. It's never really that hot, definitely not that cold. So anyway, let's sneak up here real quick. Sorry, baby, you have to stay here. Oops, don't trip, Dave. That'd be just hysterical for the video. Let's zoom back just a little bit. Whoops, wrong way. That way. Okay, you guys be good. Stay here for a minute. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Missed a spot. See this? I missed that spot when they were painting. Missed a couple spots. Missed it down there too. We'll catch all that stuff. Look at that. All that tile is done. You know, I looked at some different colors and such, but this was the most economical. And I think it looks fine. You know, the nice thing about having simple colors like this is then it's a lot easier to accessorize with other things, with carpet, with curtains and stuff like that. When you do like a funky color on the ground or on the walls, it makes it that much harder to coordinate everything. Look at how nice it is. I hate to say it, but it's a night and day difference between this one and the one that I'm living in. But the one I was living in, it was a different crew of guys that was working on it. And they did have some challenges that they were faced with in the process, but some of it was just like really ugly grout lines. I mean, these guys, these grout lines look perfect. I mean, this is the kind of work that you would expect. Mine, not quite as pretty. Now, you can cover things like that with carpet and with furniture, but when you're the one who paid for all of it and you're looking at the work they did, you're kind of like, okay, that's a little disappointing. But that's why I stopped working with them, and I'm working with Ricardo and his boys. I love those guys. So like what I was saying, we would do bamboo underneath here and make it look nice. But again, you know, it's about, for all three of them with the gutters, it's about $1,200, which I really don't think is expensive at all. That's not the issue. It's just the amount of money that I have right now. And when you think about things like that, you go, okay, it looks really nice just the way it is. Would it look nicer with bamboo? Yeah, absolutely. Can it wait? Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. We'll see. I do need gutters though. Now this is the one thing that I was looking at that I'm just not sure about. You know, initially my thought was that I wanted this to be in such a way that, like, I mean, so this is where you're going to have your mirror here. I guess we could do it here. I wanted to create a little makeup station, a place where a woman could like tuck a bench or stool underneath there. I mean, maybe what we could have the guys do is have, instead of these two here, maybe have them go here and then leave this spot here. Well, no, that's not going to work because they're putting the sink in here. And I know they were just trying to create enough space to get through here, although that feels like tons of space. I don't know. You know what? I don't want to overthink these because they're going to be rentals. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll make it perfect when it's mine. I was just thinking from the standpoint of trying to include as much as I could with a rental. But with all the space that we've got, we could also do a little makeup station or something like that, a little piece of furniture with a mirror and, a little counter space and drawers and stuff here. Or we don't have to include it at all. Anyway, just trying to make the right decisions before we go too far. So this is that extra window that I was talking about that you don't see on the others. Not quite sure why we went so high with that plug there, because even when I do put a TV in, the TV is probably going to be here. It's not going to be quite that high. So that's actually going to be exposed. Again, I'm not going to make things difficult, but I wish it had just been a little bit lower so it would be hidden behind the TV. But not the end of the world for sure. We'll just do a cream colored switch cover or plug cover, and then you won't even notice it, right? But boy, this is really coming along. I mean, as soon as we get glass in here, they just need to texture and paint the ceiling, which I know they're going to do this next week. The counters are all ready to go, and they're going to, it'll be the same tile that we're going to use. Hey, look who managed to get up here. What are you doing, babe? So, all right. So the next time we do an update, I will have been gone for a whole week. They promised me a whole lot of progress, and Marlon, one of the guys, he's going to stay here the whole time, so he'll take care of Dude and Babe, keep them happy. Come on back down, baby. That's why you didn't need to come up here, because we're just going to go back down. Scarlet macaws flying by there. Can you see those guys? Can I zoom in? Oh, didn't zoom in time. Sorry. Maybe you heard them squawking. They make a lot of noise. Okay, zoom out. There we go. All right, baby, come on. Now I see how you got up here. Just through that opening on the side. And your smarty pants brother didn't figure that out? Oof. All right, baby. Come on. Okay. That'll work. What a project. What a project. One of these days I'm going to look back on this time and be like, oh my gosh, that was such an adventure. Right now it still just feels overwhelming. But look at how close we're getting. These are totally going to be ready here within the next few weeks. By the time I get back, it's going to be time to start buying furniture. So, great progress. We'll put down some nice smooth, like river rock, small river rock for a little driveway. Initially my thought was to do some of those pavers that the grass grows between, but for now we're just going to do river rock. Then at some point I want to do a motorized gate. That's why we've got this piece of conduit sticking up here, this electrical conduit with the plastic cap on it so nobody breaks it. That's designed so that at some point we can do a little motorized gate machinery right there to open and close this. I can't wait to be able to take down all this ugly black fabric crap. It's kind of ridiculous, right? You can see right through it, but it meets the law requirement for Costa Rica for construction projects. And at one point, I don't quite know how it got switched around, because the no trespassing private property was actually on the other side at one point. I think it blew down, and when the guys put it back up, they just didn't really care to put it back up the other way. I don't care either. I don't care what side it's on. I just want to be able to take it down. And then someday in the future, we'll embark on this piece of project. God, project is the property's just a monster. All right, I think that's going to do it for Saturday in September. I will be back with you guys in a week. Let you know how the trip to Colorado went. Keep me in your thoughts. If you remember from last week's video, I'm going home to deal with a legal issue where I'm owed a bunch of money from a woman who bought my business and then stopped paying me. Be nice to start seeing some of that money again as I go deeper in debt on this project. But we'll get there one way or another. Everything has a way of working itself out, right? When you can't handle it yourself, give it up to God. Trust the process. Trust that everything will work itself out. And it will. It will. And in the meantime, look where I get to struggle. This is where I get to be with my struggle, with my doggies, keeping an eye on me and everything. So, all right. Time to run into town, grab some supplies for the long haul tomorrow. 3 a.m. comes awfully early in the morning, so I want to have everything ready by the time I'm ready to blast off. And to be continued, my friends. Thanks so much for all the support. Take care.